So guys, bit of a noisier one, so you hear that going on in the background. So we now have lights. I get one of the fitting kits, I've only got one on each of the proper battens, which is a bit annoying, but we've got a generator going out there off that extension. So we actually have lights in here now, so you see a lot more rubbish. Can't say any naughty words, going for the whole YouTube thing. So yeah, this is the back half of the car, filled with lovely goods. You can see we've got its door, its light, but I'm just mega happy to actually see what we're doing now, which is quite nice. I mean, inside it's still a little bit dark, but we've got some proper lights now. Like I say, we've got some proper strip lights on the go. Is a bit noisy, running a generator, I suppose. Obviously, you can see it's got parts everywhere outside, but I'm quite happy that obviously that's fired. Got to get that me off my granddad. He got that back up and running for me, which is quite nice for him. For now and all, one of the people who helped me get into fixing things and getting things running right and whatnot. So yeah, essentially in this one I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get the seats bolted in, so I can start working on this dashboard, getting the wiring in and be comfortable, because I remember stripping this and kneeling on that chassis brace there in the floor. No bueno. So yeah, let's crack on. So guys, part of what we're going to do now is we have an Ibiza crash bar from the FR, which as you can see it's a little bit thinner, but it's going to mount up the same. It's just going to allow us, because it's a bit thinner compared to the Fabia's beefy one. So on my personal car I've got the forged front mount, which was specifically designed for this front core support, and with the headlight washers that sit there and there respectively. On this one we'll just be going generic. When we do go front mount, it won't be when we first fire it up, but that'll be a bit later on when we do some other little things. So yeah, I'm just going to swap these crash bars. Then we're going to mount our new radiator and get that mounted in here, get that plumbed up to the car. So that's one less piece I have to keep moving back and forth. So guys, we're looking at a little bit different here, not quite as noisy, and we've got power. So the generator got there, it ended up over revving, don't know why. It blew my Ryobi charger and it blew my lights. That's why there's a tube light there. So we've just been out, we've picked up a Ryobi battery inverter, so now I can run the lights off of batteries. I trust Ryobi, I know they're safe. I've de-rated the fuse in this plug. I still think that generator would blow them, but we have lights in here again, which is very nice, and I desperately need to give this a clean. So these are slightly brighter bulbs than what we had before. I feel like there's more light in here. I can see what I'm doing. The camera can see even like looking into the car, but I suppose I kind of spoiled it. So we've been cracking on with this a little bit. Got loads more to crack on with today, but as you can see, we now have the inner dashboard support. And coming back round here, you'll also see, so we have the Seat Ibiza 6L crash bar on. This gives us more room when these bits are trimmed. Leave those there. This one's uncut. Even though the bumper's cut, it might not be that bumper staying on. So we've got a brand new radiator in there. You'll not be able to see it, but it's plumbed up to our thermostat. That's all good. Our secondary water pump's in. Throw that in the bin. So I still need to blank off this nipple here. I did have a look, because we've installed a Cloud9 Customs catch can, baffled one, so we are going to need a strut brace for that to sit on. I mean, it's kind of just plonked in here for now. So I was looking, do I need to do anything different with the vacuum part coming from the master back there? But as you can see, that comes up. That's plugged in now, so that comes up over down here to a check valve, and that comes into that pipe there, and that comes all the way down here, and it's still connected to the manifold there. So I'm not too concerned about messing with vacuums for that. I just want to blank that off now. So it's slightly different on some of the other models of 1.8 turbo. We've changed the castle, the gearbox mount here, just trying to find out which are the right bolts. Changed that for the 5-speed because it bolts different to the 6. I'm trying to get away with keeping the 6-speed cables. It looks like we're going to get away with it, if I'm being perfectly honest. We'll have to see on that one. Fingers crossed, because I really don't want to have to get under and change all of that. That's the Ibiza ABS pump, but you see there, I've cross-threaded that, so we'll have to figure out a way to sort that one, which is a bit of a shame. But wiring wise, this is all Bonnet. Everything's plugged in, as bonnet catches plugged in, secondary water pumps plugged in, everything's plugged in. The wires around down the side for the front ABS sensors and the indicators. Now, because they've got that small little bulb holder, get rid of that. Because it's got the small little bulb holder on it, I'm hoping I won't have to do any wiring changes or change the housing just to get it to go into that. You can also tell we've got the bonnet on now, which is a bit of an improvement, I guess. Obviously this crash bar's on, well, this crash structure front end, with the radiator in, brand new radiator. Got that off a mate, nice and cheap. Had it laying about. But yeah, for the Ibiza front bar, I just unthread this one. I left it out specifically. So there's a tab you either have to cut off, but if you don't have access to something to cut or you just can't be bothered, you can just snap it on that corner, and then your 3 bolts will go in. It doesn't line up with that small Torx down there, but yeah, that'll be more than fine. It's better than people that don't run them at all. So that's on there. I'm nice and happy with that. I mean, I can shake the car up and down with it, so quite happy. Let's move along into the interior. So we've still got those brakes and stuff down there and drive shafts, so hopefully get them in today. Don't forget the brakes on today as well, so it's got brakes, well, a handbrake, because I messed up the ABS pump, so we'll have to deal with that. We have got a cheat for the rear floor. We've got some original Fabia rubber mats, so they'll be going down in the footwells. I'm going to try and get a set of rubber mats for the front as well. As you can see, just got a lot more light to work with in here now, which is quite nice. Still going to need torches for various things, but yeah. So this is bolted in. You've got 1 bolt on this side, 13mm. You've got 2 bolts on that side, 13mm, and then it's these. Well, I'll show you this side. You got 2 10mm on each of these legs, not holding the legs together. So we're all happy with that. We haven't touched the wiring on this Climatronic system, so hopefully that'll be all good. This is still the Fabia steering column. Now I had to drop this because the wiring runs over it, and I put all this in as one piece. So there's 2 13s, aren't they? So the 13 or 15, I believe it's 13, but you've got 2 bolts there, and that'll drop this top piece, but then you've got 2 bolts also going underneath. Now you can drop the actual column away from that, that's a mount, but I found it was easier. 2 bolts there, 2 bolts underneath. You have to go either side of the shaft in there, and then you know exactly where it's bolting up, there's no confusion then. We've still got the bracket as well behind that bolts through the firewall. We've got that to sort yet. Still see daylight. Yeah, so we've just got all of our wiring. So we've got like our original Ibiza switches there. I've got the roof antenna, and that does run. We have moved that because that will run behind the A-pillar. If we decide to put the radio, well, a working antenna back in. I've no idea what these were. I believe they go in different vents and whatnot as like a temperature probe. But we're going to have a look when we start reassembling this. In terms of that, I've tried to leave everything in situ, but pulling it in and out of the garage, on and off the car, as in laying it on top of the car and pulling it back out, things got a little messed up. You can see here we've got our passenger loom and our passenger door wiring. I don't know if it's going to marry up because these are pre-facelift doors, figured out. Got uprated speakers in though, which is quite nice. So we are going to have to figure out what's going on with adapting these to those, but we don't necessarily need that to drive because there's no indicator, there's no nothing. There are windows obviously and wing mirrors, but you can adjust them manually and turn fan on. At least we've got one. But this has got all of our airbag goodies, so you just untangle that. So you can see here we've got different bits. So that's for our seat airbag. I did break the connector. That's our seat airbag control module, I do believe. I don't know if it's a sensor of any kind, but yeah, so that's got the bolt under the seat. And then this final piece, luckily we've got all these left on. This final piece, that is the airbag, not airbag, the seat belt. Sorry guys, I had a phone call to make there, and a delivery of another part, but then running off this central tunnel. So we've got stuff for our climatronic, that's all nice. We've got our central console bits, we've got a cigarette lighter, which will come in handy for something else we're doing along the road. Need to find the end for that, but that was our traction switch. That's our handbrake switch. Let me just know if we've got the handbrake on or not. And an aux, which is disgusting, but we should be able to clean everything up. Because what we're going to do, so these are run here for a very specific reason. Still got to see if the Fabia dashboard fits with this climatronic system. So the Ibiza glove box was a tiny bit different. We have these around here, so they're for our radio. We'll look at getting an original Seat one, so I don't have to run an adapter to use steering wheel controls, because we will have steering wheel controls on this with the Ibiza wheel. But we're going to run the stereo in the glove box. Now that is because we are planning on running stereo in here, out of the radio, whatever you want to call it. So we still have sound, we're still going to keep speakers. You can see upgraded JBL ones there. Don't know if they're any good. They look like coax to me. They might be, they might not be. We've got no tweeters, so I presume they're coax because it's got the tweeter in the middle there. But yes, the plan, we're still going to have sound in here. I've got to drive it end of day. Don't want to be bored to death, but yeah. So obviously we've still got bits and bobs there. So that's the black pin for the clocks. The other one is just back there. Need to run that through. We've got our wire in here for the indicator stalk, so I sat on. Big difference with these I've noticed is these are all wired up on one side. The Fabia ones are not. So it's going to be interesting because I want to use the Fabia stalks. Want to use a clock spring from this. But yeah, ideally I want to use the Fabia stalks. It is a Fabia, although it's 1.8 20 valve swapped. Essentially, it's going to think it's an Ibiza. It's a Fabia. I want it to look like a Fabia. It needs those pieces on it, and the stalks I pulled out have cruise control. This one does not. So yeah, we're definitely going to be wanting that, but we do have the rocker at the end, so we know we've got the the multi-function display, the itty bitty one, not like on mine where you've got the maxi dot. So that's that. This is our main interior harness here, coming back. As you can see, it's quite chunky. We do have our plug for the seat belt. That's in there. We want to retain things like that. I didn't grab the seat belts out of the Ibiza. See, they're going a bit mouldy. So it will be interesting to see. I do believe they are the same. Be interesting to see what the car makes of it. So we've got wiring everywhere here at the minute. But we do have rear ABS sensor. We've got the full lube out of the car really. We've got the driver's seat airbag thing. Got the driver's seat airbag plug. I don't think I broke this one, did I? No, I don't think I broke that one under there. But the other ABS sensor. For the rear, I want to start getting stuff like that ran today. Do have the screen wash pipe for the back, but we don't need that where we're going. Gonna see if I can make out what this is. Rear light, driver's side. Beautiful. That's going to be the next big thing really, is figuring out what all this stuff means at the back. I know that was ran on the passenger side, that connected to the hatch, the boot. So there's going to be some wires in there that we're going to want. There's another earth there. Don't believe I wired that one up. I think that's the same as the driver's one to go to the passenger rear light. The one on the body, they definitely went to the ones that were on the boot. Again, another ground there, and then these wires here were for, so about that, just another arm, and these wires here got to go pick up another parcel were for the rear number plate lights, so they'll need to get wired into the boot. Know that for a fact. But yeah, so we swapped everything. So from this structure, so this is the Ibiza. This piece is exactly the same. If you are doing this swap on a Fabia, you will have to swap the end pieces. There are 3 T30s, 1 underneath, 2 on there. This is for the airbag, the passenger airbag. You got 2 on the top, 2 underneath. They are a bit fiddly to get with the fan still in place, bear that in mind. You've got 2 T30s again on top holding this. Don't quite know what that does. I think it's a support for the dash. These end pieces are specific to the Fabia. They have the holes, they have the nut backing in them already on the Ibiza, but you do need to swap these over from your Fabia, from the inner dash structure. You'll need to replace that end piece, but this mount for the steering column, that's all exactly the same. As far as I can tell, the steering column is exactly the same, the ignition barrel is exactly the same. As you can see, we've still got the Skoda key there. that's all the same. You just need done from that end panel as well. Now that one is a bit different because the fuse box won't bolt up to that, but you need that to attach the Fabia dash. So I'm now going to look at getting the Ibiza piece and seeing if I can rivet the mounting tabs for the fuse box, so we can get the fuse box mounted in an OE position, because I don't know if you can tell, but the fuse box is a slightly different shape, so when we do bring that up there, it just doesn't fit. But that's not the end of the world. We can definitely get around that. We can definitely fix it, but it wants to sit in the right spot. You see we've got our door wire in there as well. Now, because we've got this on super steady on a Samsung phone, trying to keep it a bit, well, less motion sickness inducing. Light's not too great, but I have plenty of light now. We've got those lights installed. They're still running off the Ryobi inverter, so we are going to go back and charge that up. But yeah, as you see, plenty of light there. You can see you've got the nice tinted SE sundown glass. But yeah, we're also going to look at that rear boot mechanism today and installing our manual boot release back there. See if we can't even get the boot on as well today. So guys, obviously got nice lights on today. We've made some fantastic progress. The car's panelled. It's got all its doors. It's got the boot on it. Bit out of breath. I just lumped it back in my sim. We can see how tight we are here. Again, not fantastic, but means I can work on the other side and whatnot. But yeah, the boot's on. All that good stuff. We've still not got the brakes on. We've not got the drive shafts on yet. It'd be a bit later on, I think. Maybe next week. Who knows? But as of now, we've got proper brake discs now in here. So the wheels aren't sat on the hubs and just the hubs anymore. We are going to get rid of that badge. Not a massive fan of that, but this was a really nice boot. You can see we've got the odd mark in that, but this come off an icebreaker. It's filthy, but it come off an icebreaker. So a bit weird seeing it like this. There you go, more of what I see. Bit weird seeing it like this with its panels on. It'll be I think the bumpers will be the first thing I try and paint. Body wise, yeah, that looks fantastic. And now I've got this this all set up in here, I can clean all these cobwebs out. I'll push the car out next, clean it all out, and well, we can look at trying to paint these walls. A chappie just in the garage opposite, he's just picked that one up. He's looking to do the same, work on a car, and he's just painted all his walls white, and the light reflects beautiful off it. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got nice air. You can see you can see all my crap laying about, but we have space. See a DS3 blower fan and all sorts. I think that's a DS3 unless it come out this one originally. Definitely a DS3 seat from cars no longer with us. So yeah, really happy with the lights. I think this is going to be fantastic. Not just for making content, but you know, I can kind of roll this out. I can work on this. I can work on that. Probably gonna do this again. Roll half of it out, jack the back end up, then we can look again the fuel tank in and situated. See, we've got a nice hole here. And that's because we've got no fuel tank. So not only do we have no exhaust, but we also have no fuel tank under there. So like I said, we are running this now with the Ryobi inverter. It's been a bit finicky. I think these new tubes, I think they're pulling a bit when they're cold. I think when they're warm, there's no issue. Like but yeah, I think it's mainly when they're cold. But yeah, last thing I'll do before we depart is I'll show you what we've got on under engine bay, because I think that's where we've made the most progress really. That and the interior.